Right, so is every film about magical cats and dragons and stuff? Oh, there's real people too. Hello lovely people of YouTube and welcome back to Mark on Life and GhibliTime. Thank you to everybody who watched last week's episode, which was Kiki's Delivery Service. If you haven't seen it, as always, I will leave a link in the description and at the end of this video. So this week on GhibliTime, we are looking at a slightly underrated and less popular one in the series, Only Yesterday. Only Yesterday was released on the 20th of July 1991. And it took 25 years to be dubbed into English. In 2016, so only last year, an enormous amount of time. And it was the highest grossing domestic film in Japan in 1991. And it took 1.87 billion yen. I won't do the calculations, but that's quite a lot of money. So why is this one different from all the others? Well, like I said at the beginning, most Ghiblis have some kind of supernatural or fantasy element to them. So there's talking animals, there's magical airships, there's all manner of creatures and things happening that are otherworldly. And this is not one of them. Obviously Grave of the Fireflies was all real, but again it was epic, it was war, that kind of thing. This is the first one that is what I would call a normal drama. And I know that might make it sound quite boring compared to the others, and I think that's how it's regarded often. There are other ones like My Neighbours the Yamadas, which they're just a normal drama that you might see on TV. So there's no supernatural element at all in this one, it's just people going through their lives and the story being told. So the title in this one in Japanese is slightly different. So far the titles have been either almost exactly translated or a bit different. Kiki's Delivery Service was Witch's Delivery Service in Japanese, so a bit of a difference. This one's very different. The title here is Omoide Poro Poro, which means memories tumbling down. Omoide means memories or recollections more technically, and Poro Poro is sort of the sound of tumbling down. For those that don't speak any Japanese, a big part of the Japanese language is onomatopoeia, which is the words that sound like what they are. Now we have them in English, you know, things like bang, crash, but we don't use them that much comparatively. In Japanese, it's a huge range of words that are very exact. Can be animal noises, motion, movement, feelings, anything like that. For example, goro goro. Usually, very often it's the same word sort of said twice. So goro goro is the rumbling of thunder, and buru buru is trembling when it's cold and or anger or fear or something like that. So I'm not quite sure why they changed Memories Tumbling Down to Only Yesterday. They both have evocative meanings and both sort of describe the plot, sort of, but I don't know, maybe they thought that Memories Tumbling Down was quite more of a literal thing, and Only Yesterday for Western audiences was a bit more dramatic. I don't know, but yeah, again, that's what it is. So the director of Only Yesterday is Isao Takahata, again, and music by Katsuhoshi. Takahata was the writer. But again, like a lot of Ghiblis, it's based on source material. It's based on a 3-part manga series of vignettes by Okamoto Hataru and Tone Yuko. And they only really cover the younger girl, the younger version of Taeko. And so all the stuff of the older version was written by Takahata to serve as sort of the function of the film. You know, they were just the adventures of the younger girl, but he needed something to sort of bookend and create an arc of this movie. So Takahata himself wrote all the scenes where we see Taeko as a 27-year-old. So being a brand new English dub on this one, we've got some quite big people. We have Daisy Ridley in the lead, who, as you all know from the Star Wars films, the new ones, playing Rey, and Dev Patel, huge star from Slumdog Millionaire to the very recent Lion, which was one of my favourite films of last year. The English dub is good. I think Daisy Ridley fits very well, Not so much Dev Patel. I mean, he's obviously a fantastic actor and he doesn't do a bad job at all. I'm not quite sure his voice fits the character particularly well, but it's still a great job, really good dub, so yeah, definitely check it out. So what happens in Only Yesterday? Again, it's a very, very simple plot. It centers around the life of a young girl called Taeko Okajima, and we see her in two parts of her life. The present, where Taeko is 27 and unmarried, which for some reason is seen as unusual at that time in Japan. She's grown up her whole life in Tokyo, works in a really good company in Tokyo, and is taking 10 days off to go to a rural part of Japan called Yamagata in the Yamagata prefecture to visit family and to do some farming, particularly safflowers, the sort of orangey yellow flowers that you make rouge out of. They have a sort of plantation there, so she's going to go there to find out the old ways and participate and just be there for 10 days. Unfortunately for Taeko, she cannot help but take her 5th grade 11-year-old version of herself on the trip with her. So we continually see flashes back to what it was like to be in her life at that time. So we see her growing up in Tokyo with 2 sisters who are nice but not that close to her, mum who's nice, dad who's a little bit strict, and it mainly centres around what it's like at home and in school. So first, it's the summer holidays and she's the only one not going away. So she feels very lonely. She gets one day out with grandma to go to the onsens, the kind of herbal baths that you get in Japan. But it's not exactly that wonderful compared to the holidays that the other kids are going on. She's has trouble eating, you know, mum thinks she's a very fussy eater. She has trouble with maths and keeps getting tests wrong and doesn't know why. There's a boy in the next class called Hirota who likes her. So there's a lot of classroom politics and, you know, whispers and back and forth and, you know, does she like him, does he like her, that kind of stuff. And they also make quite a big point of menstruation. The girls are all taught in school about what happens when you get your period, and they're all a bit nervous and some are scared about it, some are already experiencing it, and then the boys get wind of it and so they get made fun of and it all becomes a bit of a problem. Again, very classically Ghibli, coming of age kind of stuff, and so yes, exactly what we see here. So older Taeko, 27, makes her way to Yamagata, and it is picked up by Toshio, one of the people there, to take her back to the farm. Interestingly enough, Takahata, while he was making it, or before, in 1990, sent a load of his staff out to the exact place in Yamagata to research this stuff. So they researched how to pick the safflowers, the orangey yellow flowers, how you make rouge, all that kind of stuff in preparation for this, because it's exactly what's happening to Taeko when she's there. And even though she's having a great time and engaging in all the farming, she keeps thinking about her past all the time. The good stuff and the bad stuff. She has really fun memories of family, and then some slightly not so great memories, like because she wasn't particularly amazing academically, she was good performing. She was in a school play and she did very well and was asked to perform, but her strict father said, no, you won't do that, and so she was not given that opportunity. So she keeps thinking about these things all the time. They keep playing on her mind. And so I think the central theme for this one is being true to yourself. Because eventually I think she's just thinking, have I lived the dream of my younger self? Why do I keep holding on to these memories of my 5th grade self when I was 11? Why do they keep coming to my mind? Have I lived how I should have? And I won't ruin the end, of course, but she goes through all these thoughts and these feelings and makes a decision and does what she feels is right. So would I recommend Only Yesterday? Of course, I recommend them all. Is it one of my favourites? Probably not. But actually, I am one of the Ghibli fans who loves this type. I think some people do think they're a little bit boring because they're not kind of crazy and magical and epic, but I absolutely love them. Again, just a wonderfully charming story told so well, so patiently. If you're not someone that likes kind of nice normal dramas, patient dramas, then it might not be for you. You might want to go for one of the sort of more exciting ones. If you have time for this kind of thing, it's really, really beautiful. I absolutely recommend it. So definitely give it a watch. So that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching this episode. Give me a big thumbs up if you liked it, and leave me a comment. Have you seen Only Yesterday? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know. Share this video any way you want and subscribe to my channel to see more. Next week, we are going to do one of the very popular films in the series, Porco Rosso. I'm on all the usual social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, all of them. I'm Mark Joseph Actor. So follow me over there now. Click over here somewhere if you want to see last week's episode, which was Kiki's Delivery Service. And click over here if you want to see some more of my face in my movie-based comedy series, Retrospectives, of which there are 2 series now. So I will see you all next week for Porco Rosso. But for now, from me, Mark on Life and GhibliTime, I will speak to you soon.